Welcome to a League of Legends video by F289. You're watching a pre-made ranked 5v5 game, playing with the group from the League of Legends section on gamereplays.org. Call ourselves lolreplays.org now. So check us out if you want to upload your replays that we've taken using the LoL replay tool. Check out our strategy guides, our videos. I do a feature now called Clairvoyance, which is basically looking at different posts that Riot developers have made and seeing what's upcoming for the patch nerfs. You can find out about things like the Aurelia nerfs. Looks like some upcoming Ashe nerfs, probably on cooldowns, most likely on Enchanting Crystal Arrow. Speaking of Ashe, we'll talk about the team comps. We're on blue team. We've got Twisted Fate, who's going to be an AP mage pusher. Galio, support tank, of course. A little bit of nuking built in. Jarvan will be jungling. He's going to be pretty much a tank also, jungling tank. Kind of a tanky DPS. Ashe is going to be our range DPS, and Soraka is our support. Should be our healer. Corki on the purple team is our range carry. Shinjao is a jungling bruiser, tanky DPS, whatever. Nidalee will be a split pushers, healer, support type, assassin. Nidalee is pretty much anything but a tank, depending on how you build her. Usually lots of AP. Maokai will be their tank, maybe with a little bit of support based on his clairvoyance, and of course any they have is their mage. Take a look at their base, see what they're up to. We strongly think we can win a level 1 team fight, especially since Annie is not charging her Pyromania. Maokai is not charging his set magic. And we are all in TeamSpeak for the most part. I think maybe one person does have a mic on. I don't think Soraka has a mic on. But we are all in TeamSpeak. We're all capable of hearing each other.
Welcome to
One thing that's very nice about pre-mades, especially if you're going to play ranked, is to have that voice chat. It's a lot easier than typing MIA or whatever. We do like the jungle invade, so we're going to go ahead and do that. We hide behind this ridge so that an enemy looking into this lane can't see it. You don't want to be in this avenue right here. You want to wait. And then, of course, if you're going to invade the jungle, you need Clairvoyance. Clairvoyance, of course, incredibly good. We're going to come into this river bush right here and not around the corner too far. TF, unfortunately, visible. Gap in the brush right there. Thanks Riot for that. It's picked up by a sapling, so we have to reevaluate our tactics. It's not working as well as we're not going to be able to get that surprise assault. So instead we're going to rethink our approach. We'll take a different tactic. We're going to go around the other way. We're going to wait for Clairvoyance again. We're not going to round this corner because we don't want them to see us coming before we round this corner to this ramp right here. So we're going to wait just outside.
Minions have
there's only 4 of them there. We don't see the 5th one, so we do decide to invade. Now Soraka goes the wrong way. Soraka should be coming back around here. She's not, so it's going to slow us down. Jarvan also a little bit behind. So Twisted Fate throws off the gold card. I then to slow Nidalee, but we realize, hey, Ashe, Jarvan, and Soraka aren't really caught up with us. They're not moving at the same speed that we would like them to. So, but nevertheless, we continue our invasion. Let's see how that goes. This time Jarvan's Nidalee, as he should be. He's probably the tankiest out of all of us. Pushes his flag up, gets a sight. We see that Nidalee and Shinjao are still here. Twisted Fate's going to get his gold card locked in. We drop a ward right here. I throw the slow and Shinjao turns to evade it. That's going to put him in range for a gold card. He's going to pick up the gold card. Since he doesn't have flash, he's not going to go to escape. With our bonus attack speed from Jarvan and some exhaust, getting real fast, and Ashe just crit does so much damage. You can watch the volley will finish him off. We pick up first blood just like that. So jungle invasion a little bit sticky at first with people going the wrong directions, but ultimately successful. We do come in and we are going to take the blue. One thing I wish we'd done is left the little golem alive, so that Shinjao would be forced to kill off before his blue respawn. Instead we kill it. As far as landing assignments go, we're going to put Twisted Fate middle. Soraka and Ashe are going to do the support range carry thing on bottom. They'll be up against Nidalee and Maokai. Nidalee has a lot of sustain. Maokai and Nidalee, of course, very good at keeping each other alive with the heals and Maokai's passive. Twisted Fate will be up against any mid in a burst-on-burst combo. It's a lot of burst damage there, so a lot of potential there. And I will be laying up against Corki on top. One thing about Galio, he really does well with the solo lane. I know people like to stick him bot. He's really good with the solo, one-on-one. He can't really force people out of the lane, but he can farm incredibly well, and it's very hard to poke Galio out of a lane. Galio's a poke master. If you've got somebody who's not going to handle a lot of poke, doesn't have a lot of mobility, like say Misfortune, Galio can probably poke them out of a lane. And if she didn't start like boots in 3 pots. So we are a 1 kill up. We do have a sight on their blue buff. We're kind of keeping an eye on Sarvin, but again, you know, the idea behind putting Galio top is to let him farm, and in a lane that you're not going to lose easily. By level 7, it's practically impossible to push Galio's turret, because he can clear out whole minion waves at a time if he needs to. Of course, one of the limitations of multiplays is it's very hard to see health bars, so you can't really see what's going on. Now, Corki will be able to farm better than me at early levels. I'm a little leery of getting caught by an early Gatling Bot Bomb Valkyrie combo at like level 3. So I do play a little more cautiously there. I probably could play a little bit more aggressive, but I don't want to push the lane too hard. And if I do, I'd rather push the lane all the way to his turret and force him to farm underneath his tower. A lot of range carries have a hard time doing that at early levels. His health is actually a little bit lower, but TF, of course, the limitation of lower play that TF has to actually look at Corki, see what his level is, and see what his health is as well. This lane down here will probably be pretty passive. Nidalee and Maokai don't have a lot of burst damage that Soraka can't negate, and Soraka and Ashe, of course, can't do a lot of damage to Nidalee and Maokai. So, pretty passive lanes. Probably wait for the first jungle ganks before anything significant happens. Tails. We can look at the farm real fast and see that Corki is ahead of me by about a full creep wave. Like I said, early creep advantage. His early advantage is definitely there. I don't want to. He does a lot of damage. I don't want to get too close unless I've got him poked down significantly. In mid lane, Annie and Twisted Fate are pretty even. Annie's about half a creep wave ahead. Both doing significant amounts of damage to each other. On bottom lane, you see Ashley got 25. She's farming very well. Maokai not so much. Of course, Soraka's not farming at all, so pretty even on bottom lane. And the junglers, it's hard to tell since we haven't seen Shinjao. Looks like Soraka is going to plant a ward. She's going to plant a ward. Keep an eye out for Shin. See Annie going for the... Just barely escaping Twisted Fate. Doesn't want to get hit by the gold card wild card combo. For those of you who might be curious about the bans and why Twisted Fate wasn't banned, we didn't ban Twisted Fate because we wanted to pick him. We wanted to give True Knight, our captain, Twisted Fate. He's pretty good with him. There's Shin. We spot him coming out of the jungle. Or base. We banned Alistair and Gangplank. I know they banned Akali and somebody else who I wouldn't have picked for a typical ban. Now at this point, Twisted Fate's going to gank top. Unfortunately, we didn't coordinate this probably as well as we could have. I asked him to wait and for me to get out of Durant and hit level 6 so I could get my flash ult on him as well, but it doesn't happen. Twisted Fate rushes early. I told him just a little too late. So Twisted Fate jumps in. Forces a flash and a ghost. I flash and try and catch up, but Corki uses Valkyrie and gets away as well. So, not quite a successful gank. We do force him back. A wasted opportunity there. Some unfortunately not optimal communication between me and Twisted Fate, me and TF. Now making an appearance. He's actually like level 4 again, a limitation of low replay. I can't display health bars unless the person who took record the replay has looked at them. He gives up his little pressure on the turret. He's actually He actually has more health than what it shows. He's not actually moving that fast. And again, another limitation of long replay there. Soraka and Ash put a little pressure on this turret. They're not going to do a lot of damage. Again, Nidalee and Maokai are able to heal themselves pretty effectively. Looks like a fight goes off between TF and Annie. TF doing a lot of burst damage real fast. Not sure if he'll keep fighting. They back off. And Annie's out of health pots. Darvin's going to attempt to gank up top. See if I can actually get Corki. Again, he's not at that low health. He doesn't definitely still has mana. More, again, the limitations of the replay. Darvin thinks he has a ward there. I'm convinced he doesn't. He's just playing a little passive. Corki finally comes in. Gets caught. Valkyrie's away. I catch him with Idol of Durand. He's going to eat a lot of damage from that. He doesn't have his Merc Treads. He eats additional damage from Darvin's knockup and Righteous Gust. And then we'll finish him. Darvin will finish off.
An enemy has been slain.
So we finally get a kill on Corki. We needed to get that earlier. Corki's pretty much free farming. He's about 2 creep waves ahead of me, so that's not exactly
You
optimal.
have been slain.
Down here we saw a fight between Annie and TF. It was a very close burst fight. You saw Annie just barely get away. Doing a surprising amount of burst damage. Soraka tried to ult him, but it didn't work. I exhaust Darvin to keep shit from killing him. And we trade 1 kill for 1 kill. We get a kill on Corki, they kill Twisted Fate. Again, Corki just able to farm very easily. He's 52 over my 37. And our captain is singing the BG Staying Alive. If you're not familiar with that song, it's a very old, like, 70s song that involves men singing in very high pitches. Of course, Galio now is just about level 7. He's at the point where he doesn't really care about Corki's harass too much. He can pretty much farm caster minions in a single one-shot. The way I do that is with 3 points in Resolute Smite and 2 points in Righteous Gust. You can do it with 1 and 4, 4 points in Smite, but I like doing it, I like using a few more points in Righteous Gust just for the possibility of hitting some of the melee minions as well. And of course trading blows with Twisted Fate again. Both sides able to do a lot of damage to each other. They're both pretty squishy. Annie has gone a little more survival route with the Catalyst. That'll keep her landing longer. Soraka now off. Soraka now, this is a move, is not a good move by Soraka. Aesthetic Machine does not normally play supports. At least I'm pretty sure it doesn't. He walks all the way up here to drop a single heal on TF. Maybe he was trying to think about a silence on Annie for a gank, but Soraka is no ganker. Meanwhile, Ashe is down here. She can't do anything. She's getting zoned hard by Nidalee and Maokai, so this was not the best decision making by Soraka. If you're a babysitting or a range carry, stay and babysit them unless you have a really good reason otherwise to come up here.